I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel.
We're so glad you are here with us.
We know your time is important, so we're going to try and make this as quick as possible, but as educational as possible for you guys, and we hope you enjoy.
Yes, and these are the the Jewish rabbis consider the 613 laws of the Torah, which is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and we have no rabbi except Rabbi Mashiach, Rabbi YHWH, and we're not supposed to have any other rabbis. We're not supposed to call people rabbis and things of that nature. So, that is what we think, and that is what we believe. We believe that all of the laws, statutes, and commands in the book, the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, are applicable to our lives today, and that we should carry them with pride. We should carry them with dignity. We should carry them as a spokesman for the Most High Elohim Yahuwah. And let's begin. So we're starting off with 341. How's your day, by the way? Everyone good? Everyone cool? Everything good? You guys are the last day of trying to drive around?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
You haven't killed anyone yet?
No, not yet.
No, but it's nerve-wracking, Kate?
A little bit.
A little bit. Jade, nerve-wracking?
I'm not so bad.
Not so bad?
Nah.
They just toss the kids. For those who haven't tuned in and who do not know, they down in I guess they call this a third world country, but I mean, there's actually parts of the United States that I would consider like fourth world to this third world. There's some crack alleys in the cities and stuff that are really terrible. It's not like down here, but anyway, down here they just kind of toss you in a car semi-illegally, and they have you drive around, avoid the cops, avoid what they call the transport people, and that's how you learn to drive here. And so we didn't actually know that. We didn't know that's how it was. We thought it was like somewhat.
Yeah, I thought it was like you give classes, you work with a simulator. No, like just get in the car and drive.
Yeah, that very first day, get in a car, and I guess that's what they do with everybody. And so you get these people who are terrified and who've never ever driven before. They don't stick them in a simulator; they stick them in a car and have them drive off into traffic. So it's a little strange, a little wild. We are on the last day of it, and I'm glad nobody has gotten hurt so far. So that is that. Okay. So let's hit these up. The 613 laws of Yah, 341, the not to offer an animal with a temporary blemish. Now, I remember this from yesterday.
We did a whole bunch of these, and he continued on from there. There's actually not I wouldn't say there's 613 laws. They do repeat a lot and try to make a whole bunch of new commands out of the same thing they just said. Yeah, so I wouldn't say there's 630, maybe like 300 commands. You probably half that at least.
Yeah, they say the same thing in 5 different ways, and they make them all commands. But I don't.
It's very confusing in the way they do it.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be that, crazy about it. If it's plain enough. I mean, I do not know why they have all these commands like this. But this is not Yah's list, right? Yah's list is the book, and the word of Yah. Okay, 341, not to offer an animal with temporary blemish, Deuteronomy 17:1. Who is it?
Do not slaughter Yahuwah, your Elohim, a bull or a sheep which has any blemish, any evil matter that is an abomination to Yahuwah, your Elohim.
Okay, and what was this? What are the basics of sacrifice back in the day? If you were a Levitical people and you had to go and take a ram or a lamb or something of the sort, what was it? You had to do one with one eyeball and one ear? One that gimps around on one leg.
Like they had to look perfect. They had to be perfect.
He wanted a perfect animal. He didn't want something with a cut on it or something that was sick. He wanted something that could be perfect sacrifice.
Yeah. Yep, that is it. Okay, 342, not to accept defective offerings even from foreigners. Leviticus 22:25.
And from a son of a stranger's hand you do not bring any of these as the bread of your Elohim, for their corruption is in them and their defects are in them, and they are not acceptable for you. So this chapter was talking about offerings. The whole chapter is about offerings and bringing stuff to Yahuwah.
Foreigners, though, right?
This right here is talking about foreigners right here, how they can't bring defective stuff to Yahuwah.
Why wouldn't Yah want a foreigner to bring a sacrifice?
A defective sacrifice.
Defective sacrifice.
Because it's not pure. He wants something that's perfect.
Yeah, he doesn't want defective offerings from even his people, let alone foreigners. So, 343, dedicated animals are not to have wounds or blemishes. Same kind of stuff. Leviticus 22:21.
And when a man brings a peace offering to Yahuwah to complete a vow or a voluntary offering from the cattle or the sheep, it is to be perfect, to be accepted. Let there be no defect in it.
Yeah, same thing. Don't let your animals, if you're offering to Yah, offer the very best that you have. 344, you may eat damaged animals, not the unclean. Deuteronomy 12:15.
Only whatever your being desires, you shall slaughter and eat, according to the barakah of Yahuwah your Elohim, which he has given you within all your gates. The unclean and the clean do eat of it, of the gazelle and the deer alike.
Okay. You made the damaged animal, so
You can eat the animals, like it says, whatever your being desires, you can slaughter and eat it. Whether it's perfect or not, you were allowed to eat it. And when it says the unclean and the clean do eat of it, it means that the people that will eat the unclean foods as well. He was not talking about them.
does it say you can eat damaged animals?
It says of whatever your being desires, because above it was talking about the offerings and what you can eat.
Okay. So so basically it says not the unclean. You can't
You can
eat
eat the
unclean.
things with blemishes and the cuts and stuff. You can just kill it and eat it.
Okay, so damaged animals has to be a live animal.
Right.
Right. If you can't eat
A damaged animal is not like something that's roadkill.
If it's like legs broken or like has a cut or a blemish, something like that.
Right, fell in a
Missing
ditch
an
and
eyeball.
broke its leg or something. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, 345. To offer animals that are at least 8 days old, Leviticus 22:27. And there's a precedence about 8 days. What is on the 8th day?
Circumcision.
Circumcision. We're supposed to be circumcised on the 8th day. So go ahead, hit it. 22:27.
27. When a bull or sheep or a goat is born, it shall be 7 days with its mother, and from the 8th day and thereafter it is acceptable as an offering made by fire to Yahuwah.
Okay, so I mean that's something we are in the calving kind of business here. When you take the babies away from the mothers, they are very unhappy. So this is at least you keep the animals unified for 7 days.
Right. Usually you want to keep them 3 months unless they're a sacrifice.
Right, but we don't sacrifice anything here. So.
Yeah, no sacrifice here.
Okay, 346. Not to offer animals purchased with the fees of a harlot or an animal exchanged for a dog. Okay, Deuteronomy 23:18.
It says, do not bring the hire of a whore or the pay of a dog to the house of Yahuwah your Elohim for any vow offering. For both of these are an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim.
Why in the world would you have the pay of a whore?
I don't know.
Unless you're a pimp.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why you would actually have a pay of a whore.
Something happened back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is actually really, that's a good question. Why there should be no whores in the land of Israel. There should be nothing to do with whores. So why are we having the pay of a whore?
Yeah, I have no idea. If anyone out there has any idea about this, is there anything? So read this one more time. 23:18.
All right. It says, do not bring the hire of a whore or the pay of a dog to the house of Yahuwah your Elohim for any vowed offering. For both of these are an abomination to Yahuwah.
Anyone know what a pay of a dog is?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like a foreigner, like maybe like Moab or something like that.
What? What do you mean, a Moab?
Like a foreigner. I don't know.
Kid,
Pay of a dog?
It's Jews that call us dogs. We don't
Yeah, I
call
know.
call Gentiles dogs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so that's we're discussing internal stuff that is in the the stuff we don't read, which is the Talmud, which is Jewish mysticism out of Babylon, where the goyim, which are us because we're non-Jews, are dogs to them, and they can do evil stuff to us. They can steal from us, and they can do all sorts of stuff. So here we go. So we are beating some dogs while we're doing this as well. So anyway, I have no idea about 346. So I have no idea what the hire of a dog is. We're going to need to look this up, somebody, and try to figure this out.
For the part of a whore, don't have anything to do with the whore. That's just that should be really self-explanatory. Don't take money from the whore.
Yeah,
don't
if you end up with a whore's money, don't.
Did you rob the whore? I mean, how did this happen? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not good. We need to figure this one out. 347. Not to burn yeast or honey on the altar. Leviticus 2:11.
Right. It says, no grain offering which you bring to Yahuwah is made with leaven, or do you not burn any leaven or any honey in an offering to Yahuwah made by fire.
That's very interesting because Yah likes incense and he likes smells and he likes certain things. So if he does not like the smell of burnt yeast or burnt honey, I don't know what burnt honey smells like.
I don't either.
You know?
I don't
No idea.
Is there ever burnt honey?
Burn honey. It'd be hard. You'd have to literally
I guess just leave it in there
Like
forever.
pure fire, I think. You'd have to literally put it in straight fire.
Is it bad? Yah doesn't like that. So if we were built in his image and yeast smells bad, honey smells bad, Yah doesn't want the smell of it. So there you go. 348. To salt all sacrifices, Leviticus 2:13. This is another cool one, right? You're giving offerings and stuff to Yah. I mean, you're making his food. Don't make his food ridiculous.
Salt the fries, bro.
Yeah, salt it. Okay, Leviticus 2:13.
And season with it with salt every offering of your grain offering, and do not allow the salt of the covenant of your Elohim to be lacking from your grain offering. With all your offerings you bring salt.
Like literally, put the right amount of salt. Do
Don't
not
be
lack that
cheap.
salt.
Yeah, don't be
put
cheap.
that salt on there.
You know, people probably forget this is for Yah, and he's like, don't be cheap.
I like my salt.
So
Yeah.
the next one, it goes on to again says do not omit the salt from the grain offering. Do not skip the salt offering. I don't know why they added 2. It was obvious on the first one, and then he says not to skip it, not to forget the salt.
Right. Yep. Don't forget the salt. Okay, 350. To follow the burnt offering procedures as written in the Torah, Leviticus 1:3.
If his burnt offering, if his offering is a burnt offering of the herd, let him bring a male, a perfect one. Let him bring it to the door of the tent of appointment for his acceptance before Yahuwah.
Okay, so anyone? I mean, what are we talking here?
Follow the burnt offering procedures written in the Torah.
Yeah, you got to bring it to the door, and then it goes on and talks about he has to lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering; it shall be accepted. Then it talks about how they shall slaughter him. It's like and the priest shall slaughter the animal.
It's like the animal almost takes on the sins of the man. I mean, it's like what a violent ending, regardless how it ends. I mean,
Yeah,
I know they have it so that these animals are kind of at peace because they're masters of the kill, but it's still kind of a violent thing. So I mean, you probably shouldn't sin, because what you're doing is you're ending up with these beautiful little animals having their throats cut and having to die for literally your sins. So we should not be sinning. Okay, here we are. Where are we at? Not to eat. 351. Not to eat what you give to Yah as an offering. Deuteronomy 12:17. Again, don't be cheap.
It says, you are allowed to eat within your gates the tithe of your grain, or your new wine, or your oil, or the firstlings of your herd or your flock, or any offerings which you vow, or your voluntary offerings, or of the contribution of your hand.
Right. Okay, so I mean,
Don't eat it.
Yeah,
Don't.
If you have it set apart for Yahuwah, do not. It's not yours anymore.
yeah, I guess there's a problem with that, and I'm sure there is. You know, people are like,
Yeah, I could use some extra food.
8%.
There goes
So
the 1%.
Yeah, 1% down. Okay, not to eat what you give to Yah as an offering. 352. To carry out the procedure for a sin offering. Leviticus 6:18. Who has that?
I do. It says, all the males among the children of Aaron eat it, a law forever in your generations concerning the offerings made by fire to Yahuwah. All that touches them is to be Kadesh.
Okay, so Jade, explain that. Okay, what's going on here, buddy? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to figure out something here, but I'm not sure what. Kate, can you help us? What are we doing?
No, I'm just looking down farther how we have a repeat here, and it looks like it didn't save. Looks like that one didn't save.
Okay, so concerned Cade was pointing this out here. To carry out the procedure for a sin offering. Let's go back to that one, Jade. What do we have?
So it says, this is verse 18.
Yep.
It says, and all the males among the children of Aaron eat it, a law forever in your generations concerning the offerings made by fire to Yahuwah. All that touches them is to be Kodesh.
Yeah. So I guess
Well,
so
it's
all
more
the-
like the Levites must eat the burnt offerings or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that'd be kind of the procedures.
it's part of the procedure. There's this one way of wording it. That's why they have so many of these. Okay, so it's basically just to follow through on how they are working or how they're supposed to do it. 353. Not to eat the meat of a sin offering. Leviticus 6:23.
623. Okay, this is a grain offering. And every grain offering for the Kohen is completely burned. It is not eaten.
Okay.
So it's grain, not meat.
Grain. Okay, so man, these guys just cannot get this together.
Is it, so it's a sin offering?
That's a grain offering. The
Not
grain.
to
not
eat the
to eat-
grain, right?
Yeah,
Not
not,
to eat the
okay, and
grain
every
off-
grain offering for the Kohen is completely burned. It is not eaten.
Okay.
Not to eat the grain offering.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, 354. The priest shall not cut off the head of a bird, sin offering, Leviticus 5:8. And the bird was usually for who?
Those who couldn't afford a lamb.
Broke.
The poor people that couldn't afford a lamb or a ram. I mean, they were much higher priced than a little bird was.
Yep. So there's a way to have a sacrifice even if you're broke. Okay, what do we got? And so...
The next one. Oh, okay, this is a bird one. Okay. And he shall bring them to the Kohen, who shall bring near that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off its head from its neck, but not sever it. So he's supposed to break his neck, but not
yeah.
cut it off.
Yeah, don't sever it. Don't rip it out.
Do they eat the birds?
I don't know if they eat the bird. I have no idea. Okay, 355. So to follow the procedures of the guilt offering, Leviticus 7:1.
All right. All right. It says, and this is the Torah of the guilt offering. It is the most Kadesh. Yeah, and then it goes on about the guilt offering. That was the verse.
So what it was to follow the procedures of the guilt offering?
Yeah, because this whole chapter starts going over the guilt offering.
Okay, so
So it's basically it's all chapter 7.
Yeah, so if we end up back in the kingdom, or when we end up in the kingdom, and they reenact sacrifice and all this kind of stuff, you would want to check out Leviticus 7. That's going to help out at that time. So 356, the priest must eat the sacrificed meat in the temple. Exodus 29:33.
And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy.
Right. Okay. So it says the priest must eat the sacrificed meat in the temple, but but the stranger cannot eat. Right.
Yep.
Okay. So
Same with 358. It's just saying that the non-priest must not eat it.
So 358 is the same. Exodus 29:33. A non-priest must not eat the sacrificial meat. Okay, let's roll back to 357. Priest must not eat the meat outside the temple. Deuteronomy 12:17.
And this is one of the ones I put repeat on, but apparently did not save. I have repeat a little down lower. This is the one where it says, "Do not rip off Yah. You are not allowed to eat the grain of your tithe, either or of your new wine, or of your oil, or of the firstlings of your herd, or your flock, or any of your offerings which you vow, or of voluntary offerings of the contribution of your hand."
Okay, so 357 should be what?
It should be.
Don't rip off
this one
Yah.
right here. Do not eat your offering.
Okay, so it was the same somehow.
It's the
didn't
same.
it?
Some they like
shouldn't be-
duplicated
it
them.
shouldn't
And
be
for
the
some reason they
priests.
put the priests are eating a meat outside the temple.
Okay, no problem. I don't see this as being a problem. They repeat a lot. So we will fix this. And somebody out there asked for a list of this stuff. We will post the list we have to this, but it's broken. Like, it's really, truly broken. And so we will also post a list of these once we get them done. But there's still a bunch of repeats in here because there's definitely not 613 laws. So these guys really should get their stuff together. 358, a non-priest must not eat the sacrificial
We already
meat.
read that one. That was 356.
Oh, 356. And so rolling to 359. To follow the procedure of the peace offering. That's the same one, Leviticus 7:11.
Actually, it's 11%. 10%.
7:11. Okay, so what's 7:11
And it
saying?
goes, and this is the Torah of the slaughtering for the peace offerings which is brought to Yahuwah. So and then you go on to the next part where you go to the meat offering.
Right, so everybody, all you kiddos out there who end up making the kingdom and you end up into the new school Levites,
Yeah, we're gonna need to know this.
hit back to Leviticus 7. That's your gig. Okay, 360. Do not eat your offering. We've seen
went over
that.
that.
Yeah. So Deuteronomy
like 5
12:17.
times.
Yes, don't be cheap, folks.
They had a bunch of stuff where it was like, the priests are not allowed to eat in their own house or something. Like, it was like some crazy things they had. So
in the Torah.
yeah, in this thing, what I edited out today, this was like
Right, so I think they bring a ton of Judaism into this stuff, and so
Yeah,
that's
verse
They
under
kind of
apparently.
add to it.
yeah. So I guess they wanted it to be like 613 laws or something, but I don't find it as this many. Okay, where are we at, gentlemen? 361.
Yeah. Yep.
To bring meal offerings in the prescribed manner, Leviticus 2:1.
It says, and when anyone brings a grain offering to Yahuwah, his offering is to be of fine flour. He shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it.
Again, for you kiddos out there and the people that make the kingdom, that's for you.
Leviticus is a book for us.
Yes, it is. Okay, 362. Not to put oil on the meal offerings of wrongdoers, Leviticus 5:11.
Alright, it says, but if he is unable to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he who sinned shall bring for his offering 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour. As a sin offering, he puts no oil on it, nor does he put any frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering.
Wow, they add all sorts of stuff to this. Okay, so not to put oil. This is very interesting. Why wouldn't you put oil on this?
I don't know.
What does oil do?
I guess it makes like
it fries it up.
Makes it, cooks it differently. I don't know. I have no idea why you wouldn't do
I
this,
guess
but
Yah doesn't like fried chicken.
he doesn't like fried the chicken of
And like fried cows.
of bad people or something, or he does. He wants a holy meal. I don't know. I have absolutely zero idea. Okay, 363. Not to put frankincense on the meal offerings of
Same one
wrongdoers.
we just
Leviticus 5:11. Did it say frankincense there too?
nor does he put any frankincense on it.
Okay, so no frankincense, no oil. But you're supposed to bring it though, right? You're supposed to bring oil, right?
Let me see. But if he is unable to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he who has sinned shall bring for his offering 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He puts no oil on it, nor does he put any frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering.
Okay, so it's just some like flour or something, I think. I don't
Yeah,
know.
1/10 ephah of fine flour. All right.
Okay, 363. Not to put frankincense on the meal offerings. We just did that. 364. The unleavened bread shall be eaten in the holy place. Leviticus 6:16.
Then Aaron and his sons eat the rest of it. It is eaten with unleavened bread in the Kadesh place. They eat it in the courtyard of the tent of appointment.
Okay, So 365, the priest shall put on his garments of service and take the ash off the altar. Leviticus 6:10.
All right, it's
We're all wild.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this list was, Caden says this list is all wild.
and the Kohen shall put on his linen garment and put his linen trousers on his body, and shall take up the ashes of the burnt offering, which is the fire has consumed on the altar, and shall put them besides the altar.
Yeah, procedures. I don't know why you put the
take the
garments
ash.
on.
Why would you put the ash next to the altar?
Why would you put the garments on? You get really dirty.
Yeah, I don't know.
The ash is going to get you black.
Yeah, maybe some gloves or something like keep it away from himself.
Maybe a special black garments or
Yeah, the
something.
whole shovel and gold took it off or something.
Dude, it's still a mess. It's going to be
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
gonna-
camp's going to be a mess.
You're gonna end up with ash all over you.
My question is, where did all the blood end up? 366. The priest must eat the remains of the meal offerings. Leviticus 6:9.
All right, it says, command Aaron and his sons, saying, this is Torah, the burnt offering. This is the burnt offering because it is burned on the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar is kept burning on it.
It doesn't say they have to eat the remains of the meal offerings.
I don't see it now.
The priest must eat the remains of the meal offerings. How much is the remains? That sounds like a weird command. Where's this at?
I'm looking. I'm pretty sure I've heard something before, but I do not see it.
Because that definitely is not that.
Fine flour.
If it's burned all night,
619.
and it's like some
619.
real burnt, nasty stuff, that's really terrible. You would have to eat
619
that.
says,
We're looking.
no, I do not see it.
So I have no idea. I have no idea why nobody in their, why they ever didn't proofread this whole thing. Or my guys. Yeah, Caden this time. All right, 367. To bring all free will offerings to the temple and rejoice. We'll fix 366. I have no idea what's going on with that. So Deuteronomy 12:5-6. Who has it?
Ready.
Hit it.
It says, but seek the place which Yahuwah your Elohim chooses out of all tribes to put his name there for his dwelling place, and there you shall enter. And there you shall take your burnt offerings and your offerings and your burnt offerings and your tithes and the contributions of your hand and your vowed offerings, your voluntary offerings, and the firstlings of the herd of your flock.
Does it say to rejoice? In there?
No, it says choose. You will go where I choose.
Yeah,
Oh
so-
no, it does say that in 7.
Okay, so what's it say?
It says, and there you shall eat
That's
before
7.
Yahuwah your Elohim, and shall rejoice in all that you put your hand to do, you and your household in which Yahuwah your Elohim has brought you.
I guess you just have to turn in a very long paper at school, and nobody ever reads it. That's my guess.
Yeah, there's be a lot to go through.
Okay, Eli's fixing that one. 368. If you vow to Yah that which you have said you shall do.
Deuteronomy
That
23.
doesn't make any sense at all. I don't even know what I just read.
Right?
Oh, I know this is when you say something, you got to do it.
Right, but that's not worded correctly. If you vow to Yah that which you have said you shall do.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think you put a comma after said it. Sounds right.
Okay.
If you vow to Yah what you have said, you shall do.
Okay.
I think that sounds right to me.
The punctuation is
What is
everything. Let's eat, Grandpa. Let's eat, Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Alright, that's what it says. It's actually 23.
Okay.
That which has gone from your lips you shall guard and do for your voluntary vow to Yahuwah your Elohim what you have promised with your mouth.
Yeah, definitely don't put one over on the big guy. For sure. Deuteronomy 12:11 for the next one. To offer all sacrifices where Yahuwah says to sacrifice. 369. Deuteronomy 12:11.
And it shall be that unto the place which Yahuwah your Elohim chooses to make his name dwell there you are to bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings, and your tithes, and your contributions, and of your hand, and all your choice offerings which you vow to do.
Okay, that seems self-explanatory.
Last one.
Last one, 370. To bring all votive offerings to the temple.
Is that a word?
That can't be right.
I don't know.
It should be voluntary or vowed.
Vowed. To bring all voluntary offerings. All right, so hit that. Deuteronomy 12:26.
Only the Kadesh gifts which you have vowed, offerings, you are to take up and go to the place which Yahuwah chooses.
So that isn't. So what? One more time.
Vowed it.
Only the Kadesh gifts which you have, and your vowed offerings, you are to take up and go to the place which Yahuwah chooses.
Okay. To bring all vowed offerings to the temple that Yahuwah chooses. Okay. Wow. Guys, sorry, that list is just a mess. This whole thing's a mess. So we're going to have to proofread it a little bit better when we do this thing. As these guys have obviously gone through school and
I wonder what grade they got for this. I really want to know.
This is a college, man. This is a college essay that they put together.
You get flunked for this?
Copy and paste. They failed the copy and paste test. Okay, all right, gentlemen, that is it. Everybody out there, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for spending the time with us, and we hope that you learned something out of this. And guys, what do you have? What do you have for everyone?
Read your Bibles, pray.
Seek Yahuwah where he may be found. Choose this day who you will serve. And salvation begins where, Eli?
At the cross.
How's that so?
If you believe in Yahushua HaMashiach, you shall be saved.
Who?
The son of Elohim, the son of Yahuwah, you may know him as Lord God. The son, Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think everybody knows him as Jesus the Christ. And again, I've beaten dead horse on this, but there are no J's in Hebrew, so there's no way he could have ever been called Jesus Christ. And if there's only one name under heaven by which man may be saved, and
It's got to be his Hebrew name, Yahushua.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not a hell situation. You're probably not going to be doomed to hell. But if you know somebody's name, and I mean, I don't turn around when somebody screams Mark. Do you guys turn around when somebody screams like Danny?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I might look around and see who's screaming, but that's about it.
A crazy guy screaming that.
Danny!
And names don't translate. So my name down here is not the same that it is in North America. It's Jason here. It's like Yason here or something. I don't even know how to say it.
I sometimes can say Jason.
It's much closer than Jesus and Yeshua. Let's just say that.
That is. All right, everybody. I hope you guys are good. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one. We are out.
Shalom.
Shalom.